Okay, so here is a short tutorial on how to solve the exceeding expectations worded problem in the last CFU. Okay, so of course, whenever you do problem solving questions, you always start with highlighting important information. So in this problem, it says, ABC Bakery sells creamy cupcakes. Each box contains 12 creamy cupcakes. The first box costs $200. Every additional box costs $100. Mrs. Nass wanted to treat the Year 8 students to delicious creamy cupcakes, so she needed to buy 20 boxes. Okay, so from this we know first piece of important information is the first box costs $200. The second piece of important information is every additional box costs $100. And the last piece of important information is she needed to buy 20 boxes. Okay, so now that you have those pieces of information, let us now write down, okay, what each of the variables represent. Remember, we want to create a linear equation following this format to solve how much any customer of ABC Bakery needs to pay whenever they buy creamy cupcakes. Okay, so Y represents the total cost. Okay, how much the customer will pay after a purchase. Okay, so total cost. C, okay, C is, we know, the constant or the y-intercept. And as we know, constant means it remains the same, it never changes. So in this case, the constant is the first, okay, cost of the first box, okay, which is $200. This is because no matter how many boxes you buy, 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 100 boxes, the first box will always cost $200. That's why it is the constant. Okay, so now we put in what the first what C is. So we are left with M and X, the slope and the X variable. So if you look at this, okay, the slope never changes. The slope is always the same value. What changes is the values that X has. Okay, so even in a function table, okay, the pattern or the rise or run or the slope always remains the same. What changes the total cost is the value of X. Okay, so in this case, which one should be X? 100 or the 20 boxes? It should be 100. Okay, it should be the cost of each additional box, okay, which is $100. Okay, so the cost of each additional box does not change. It's always $100. But what changes is X, which is the number of additional boxes. Okay, so now that you have what each of these represents, okay, then we can put in and make the equation. We can put in the values and make the equation. Okay, so Y will always be the total cost. Okay, so let me just move this a little bit, change, resize this a bit, okay, and move it up there. So Y is always the total cost. And how do we calculate the total cost? Okay, we multiply $100 by the number of additional boxes, which is represented by X, because each customer buys a different amount of boxes. Mrs. Nass will buy 20 boxes, but maybe other people will only buy 10 boxes or 1 box or 3 boxes. Okay, plus the cost of the first box, because you will always pay $200 for the first box. Okay? So this is the equation based on the given information in the problem. Okay? Now, how much will Mrs. Nass pay if she buys 20 boxes? Okay? So, this is our equation. Y is equal to, okay, Y is equal to 100x plus 200. Now, what is x now? Okay? What is x? Is x 20? No. X cannot be 20, because if you say 20, then that means you are charging the customer extra for the first box. So that means if Mrs. Nass buys a total of 20 boxes, X will be 20 minus 1 box, because that one box represents the first box, which I will pay, or Mrs. Nass will pay $200 for. Therefore, the additional boxes would be 19 additional boxes. Okay, so Y is equal to 100 times 19 additional boxes plus 200, which is the cost of the first box, equals 1900 plus 200, okay, equals 2,100. So Mrs. Nass will pay $2,100. Okay? So let me resize this so that we have space for the graph. Okay, so let's look at our graph. Okay, so now we know that we have our first coordinate set of coordinate points. Okay, our first set of coordinate points would be 19 for X and 2100 for Y. That means if the customer buys 19 additional boxes, the customer will pay $2,100. Okay, so let's create our graph. Of course, we start with, please make sure you use a sharpened pencil, or if you're using GoodNotes, you use a very narrow line. Okay, so we have that one and we have this one. Okay, so you have your x-axis and your y-axis, and now let us label it. Okay, so this is the y-axis, and the y-axis is the total cost. So you need to label total cost. Okay, and the x-axis is number of additional boxes, so we need to label number of additional boxes. Okay, now let's look at our intervals. So our maximum box would be 20 boxes. Okay, so let's label it. Again, use a narrow marker. So you don't need to label each box like each line 1, 2, 3. That's going to be too crowded. So you can label, okay, start with 0, then you can go in intervals of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 20. That's it. Okay? And then if you look at your y values, you can go up by increments of 100. Okay, but you don't need to write 100, 200, 300. You can go up by 500. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2,000. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2,500. So now we have our proper intervals, okay? So my suggestion is to draw lines from the x-axis to the y-axis and find where the lines intersect. So for example, if I were to plot 19, 19 is x, so I will go here, 19, and draw a line going up, okay? So let's center that one. There you go, 19. And the intersect will be 2,100, which is here. Okay, so there you have it. And we label the line. So this is 19 and 2,100. Now you know, in order to make a line, you need 2 points. Okay, you need 2 points to make a line. So I'm going to choose a number. Okay, let's say, how much will Mrs. Nash spend if x is equal to 10? That means I bought 10 additional boxes. Okay, so if I bought 10 additional boxes, it would be y is equal to 100 times 10 plus 200 equals to $1,100. Oh, sorry, $1,000. Okay, plus 200 equals to $1,200. Okay, so our coordinate points are 10 and $1,200 if I buy 10 additional boxes. Okay, remember, x is the number of additional boxes, not the total boxes, but the additional boxes. So let's plot that. Okay, let's use another color. Let's choose green. Okay, so 10 would be over here. Oops, let's use a narrower. Okay, 10 would be over here. Okay, and 1,200 is over here. Okay, so this would be 10 and 1,200. Remember, you have to label your points. Okay, so now let us make our graph, our line. So all I need to do is collect all this, okay, connect our points. Now if you notice, I did not put those gigantic circles that some of you put. I don't put like a big circle because you cannot be accurate. You don't know if you actually passed the line accurately. So you can just leave it as, you know, a cross where the lines meet. Okay, so look at this one. I know my line is not accurate because it does not hit this at the middle. Okay, so you have to keep on adjusting. Now it's easier to do this when you're using paper. Okay, so there you go. Now you have the line. We need to label the line. So the name of the line is y. This is y is equal to 100x plus 200. That is what we mean by labeling the line. Okay, now the last question is using the graph. That means you do not calculate this way. You actually have to use the graph. Show me, okay, how much Mrs. Nass will pay if she bought 12 boxes in total. So remember, x is the number of additional boxes, not the number of total boxes. So if Mrs. Nass bought a total of 12 boxes, how many additional boxes did she buy? That would be 12 minus 1, and that would be 11 additional boxes. Okay? So how do we know how much she spent? We need to look for 11, and then you raise the line there and find where it lands. Okay, so let's do that right now. Let's choose another color. Maybe let's use purple. Okay, so 11 boxes. Oops, let's use the, okay, 11 boxes. And there you see where 11 boxes hit the line? Where 11 boxes hit the line? Okay, that is where you go to the y-axis, and that is how much Mrs. Nas will pay. See where it hits the the y-axis. So how much will that be? So this is 1100, 1200, 1300. So that means if Mrs. Nas buys an additional 11 boxes, she will spend $1,300. Okay? Now, did I calculate it this way? No. I used the line. Okay? I used the line. Now, how do you know you're correct? If the line was plotted or drawn correctly, you will get the correct answer. So let's see. Y is equal to 100 times 11 plus 200 equals 1100 plus 200 equals 1300. See? If you plotted the line properly, you will get the same answer. If Mrs. Nas bought 11 additional boxes, she will pay $1,300. Okay? So hopefully this tutorial has helped you understand how to do worded problems. Okay? Bye-bye.